Chapter 35. It took a while for everything to get straightened out. First, Giant John had to be convinced that Maniac was not kidnapping his brothers. Then the brothers had to do some more trembling and clinging while John finished lambasting them for running away, which apparently they did about every other week. Then, when the brothers found out that their pizza person was none other than the famous Maniac Magee, the very same one who had blasted their big brother's fastballs to smithereens and finished him off with the home run frog, well, it took a good 5 minutes of rolling on the sidewalk to get all the laughing out of their systems. Which, of course, got Giant John more than a little steamed, prompting Maniac, who didn't like seeing John disgraced before his little brothers, to say, "Yeah, but didn't John tell you what happened the next day?" And the brothers said, "No, what?" And Giant John said, "Huh?" And Maniac winked at John and crossed his fingers. "Sure, John, you remember." Wink, wink. "At the Little League field the next day you said I was lucky that all you threw me was fastballs because you weren't ready to reveal your secret pitch. The one you'd been working on, remember?" Wink. McNabb nodded dumbly. "And so I said, 'Well, come on, I can hit anything, pitch it to me.' And you pitched it, and I missed it by a mile, and you kept pitching it to me all day long, and I never even hit a foul ball on it." "What was the pitch? What was the pitch?" chanted the urchins. "It was—" Maniac paused for a dramatic build-up. "The stop ball." "The stop ball?" "Yeah, and you should have seen it. It comes right up to the plate, looking all fat and easy to belt, and then, just when you take your swing, Mania got into his batter stance and demonstrated. It sort of stops, and your bat just whiffs the air." He whiffed at an imaginary stop ball. "Wow," said the brothers, gazing up at their big brother. And so Maniac was invited to accompany the brothers McNabb to their home. Despite the cold, the front door was wide open, and Maniac could smell the inside before he could see it. The first thing he did see was a yellow, short-haired mongrel looking innocently up at him while taking a leak in the middle of the living room floor. "Clean that up," John ordered Russell. "Clean that up," Russell ordered Piper. Piper just walked on by. After closing the door, which was surprisingly heavy, Maniac found a stack of newspapers in the corner. He laid some over the puddle to soak in, then gave himself a tour of the downstairs. Maniac had seen some amazing things in his lifetime, but nothing as amazing as his house. From the smell of it, he knew this wasn't the first time an animal had relieved itself on the rugless floor. In fact, in another corner, he spotted a form of relief that could not be soaked up by newspapers. Cans and bottles lay all over, along with crust, peelings, cores, scraps, rinds, wrappers, everything you would normally find in a garbage can, and everywhere there were raisins. He walked through the dining room. Something, an old tennis ball, hit him on top of the head and bounced away. He looked up and into the laughing faces of Russell and Piper. The hole in the ceiling was so big they both could have jumped through it at once. He ran a hand along the wall. The peeling paint came off like cornflakes. Nothing could be worse than the living and dining rooms, yet the kitchen was. A jar of peanut butter had crashed to the floor. Someone had gotten a running start, jumped into it, and skied a brown one-footed track to the stove. On the table were what appeared to be remains of an autopsy performed upon a large bird, possibly a crow. The refrigerator contained two food groups, mustard and beer. The raisins here were even more abundant. He spotted several of them moving. They weren't raisins, they were roaches. The front door opened, and seconds later, a man climbed into the kitchen. He wore no winter jacket, only a sleeveless green sweatshirt, which ballooned over his enormous stomach. Tattoos blued his upper arms. His hands were nearly pure black. Stale body odor mingled with that of fries and burgers coming from the Burger King bag he held. Dropping the bag next to the bird remains, he bellowed, "Chow!" and took a beer from the fridge. He downed a good half of it in one swig, belched, double clutched, and belched again. He had to know someone besides himself was standing in the kitchen, and just as obviously, he didn't care.